Hi viewers, you're watching House Highlights on Sansad TV and I'm Rashika. We get you today's updates from both houses of the Parliament. Let's begin with the headlines of the House. Rajya Sabha passes Wildlife Protection Amendment Bill. Senior members will get preference on key issues in Rajya Sabha, assures Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar. Seeks suggestions from members on G20. And Lok Sabha discusses need to promote sports in India and steps taken by government under Rule 193. Beginning with the upper house of the Parliament, the Rajya Sabha on Thursday passed the Wildlife Amendment Bill 2022. The bill amends the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. It aims to strengthen protection for endangered species and enhance punishment for illegal trade in wildlife. The Lok Sabha passed the bill on August 2nd this year. During the debate in the House, many members expressed concern over the provision related to transportation of captive elephants.
जैसे कभी राजनीतिक रूप से इन्वेजन होता था, आक्रमण होता था, आज पर्यावरण पर यह आक्रमण हो रहा है और इस आक्रमण के कारण हम कह सकते हैं एक तरह से हमारे पशु पक्षियों को कॉलोनाइज किया जा रहा है। एक्सटिंक्शन किस कागार पर हो रहा है?
नेशनल हाईवेज बनते हैं, वहां पर हम लोग काम रोक देते हैं। नेचुरली ठीक है पर्यावरण का, पर एक पॉलिसी, एक नीति कॉमन बना दीजिए ना कि भाई अगर नेशनल हाईवे है, कहीं कोई फॉरेस्ट एरिया में से जाता है तो वहां पर किस तरह से वहां पर वो वायरडक्ट बनाया जाए या जिस तरह से भी अंडर पासेस हो, ताकि एक नेशनल हाईवे का काम बार बार आपके मंत्रालय में आकर वहां पर एनजीटी में जाएगा और उसका क्लियरेंस होते होते हाईवे बन जाएगा, लेकिन उस पोर्शन को 10-10 साल तक मान्यता नहीं मिलेगी।
हिमाचल प्रदेश का पहला बायोडाइवर्सिटी पार्क बनकर तैयार हो रहा है। इस पार्क के क्रियाशील होने से विलुप्त हो रही जड़ी बूटियों की पहचान आसान होगी। खासकर हिमालय की विलुप्त हो रही जड़ी बूटियां, उनको संरक्षण प्राप्त होगा।
Original Act says you cannot transfer any captive animal for consideration. So what are the exceptions? Like you move an animal from one zoo to the other, no one can say anything. And moment you move them, you have to inform the chief wildlife warden within 30 days. Sir, इस सेक्शन को बदल के सरकार ने जो परिवर्तन, जो अमेंडमेंट, संशोधन लेके आए हैं, उसमें लिख दिया कि लाइव एलिफेंट्स जो ओनर्स है, जिनके पास सर्टिफिकेट है, दे कैन ट्रांसफर एंड ट्रांसपोर्ट विद द परमिशन ऑफ द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ऑन फुलफिलमेंट ऑफ सच कंडीशंस एज मे बी प्रिस्क्राइब्ड बाय द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट। ह्यूज डिस्क्रेशन, सर।
So please preserve the integrity and independence of the State Board on Wildlife and bring some institutional members, bring some scientists, bring some conservationists, bring some outsiders who will give you a different point of view. You want to protect diversity, biodiversity, protect biodiversity of intellectual opinion.
So regarding the Jallikattu, because this is a very important issue, or cultural issue in Tamil Nadu. Because when Jairam Ramesh was the minister, he included the bull and everything in the list, where now we are facing the lot of problem. And also because of Narendra Modi ji, we got the exemption and got to conduct the Jallikattu the thing, because the ox and bulls are comes in the control.
ये जो वाइल्ड लाइफ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है, मैन एंड वाइल्ड लाइफ का कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है, वो इकोसिस्टम्स जो डिस्ट्रॉय हो रहे हैं उसकी वजह से हो रहा है। बार बार हम सुनते हैं, मैं मुंबई से आती हूं सर, आरे फॉरेस्ट का जब हम लोग प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे थे, मैं खुद उसमें डिटेन हुई थी, और आज स्थिति ये है कि लेपर्ड्स सिटी में आ जाते हैं, छोटे छोटे बच्चों को ले जाते हैं। तो जब इकोसिस्टम की बात होती है तो हमें वाइल्ड लाइफ के ही ध्यान में रखकर नहीं, ह्यूमंस स्पीसीज प्रोटेक्शन बिल बनाना पड़ेगा, अर्थ प्रोटेक्शन बिल को भी ध्यान में रखना पड़ेगा।
Minister Bhupendra Yadav asserted that the government will take all decisions in the interest of wildlife. He added that the bill is also beneficial for local tribal communities.
इस सदन में मैं इस विषय पर यह आश्वासन भी देना चाहता हूं कि हम जो भी रूल मेकिंग का काम करेंगे, हाथियों के पूरे संरक्षण, संवर्धन और उनके पूरे तरीके से जो एक्ट के प्रोविजन है उसके अनुसार करेंगे। हम कहीं दाएं से बाएं नहीं। लेकिन ये पावर हमको रूल्स में इसलिए ये एनेबलिंग लॉ। माननीय उपसभापति महोदय, मैं प्रस्तावित करता हूं कि इस बिल को पारित किया जाए।
Motion moved that the bill be passed. The question is that the bill be passed. Those in favor will please say aye. Aye. Those against will please say no. No. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The bill is passed.
Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar assured the upper house that senior members like former Prime Minister H.D. Deve Gowda will be given preference to express views on important issues. Stating this during question hour on the second day of the winter session of Parliament, Dhankar asserted that the chair was not biased. He also urged the members to rise above party ideology on important issues.
Leader of the House and Leader of the Opposition, to the extent I am concerned, have a very special position. As also the benefit we have in the house of two former Prime Ministers. Believe in the chair. The chair is not partisan. The chair is national. And what I have indicated is what I have felt. So we all must rise to a level on certain issues where partisanship is totally not taken sight of. Let me give an illustration. If on an issue, Honorable former Prime Minister H.D. Deve Gowda would like to speak, that will be an input to the entire nation. I would first look at him, his vision, and then the rule book.
Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar said on Thursday that the world will look to feast on India's cultural wealth during G20 and called for inputs and suggestions from the members in this regard. Leader of the House Piyush Goyal complimented the chairman for his efforts.
G20 is going to be a very important occasion. During my 2 visits abroad, I found in the people an air of expectation. They expect, and rightly so, that in the land of culture and civilization, the event will be unique, an occasion for them to feast on our cultural wealth. And that is both a challenge and opportunity to us. Input to me is that everyone is concerned to make available and showcase India in the most authentic fashion. I call upon all the members to give their own inputs also to the chair, and I will act as a platform to catalyze that their constructive ideas, imaginative inputs are also put into practice. This may be done within fortnight, and I will pass on to the Leader of the House, who will bring about convergence of various departments to consider your inputs so that the world comes to know our cultural power, our cultural wealth, and what India has offered to the world.
Chairman Dhankar welcomed Advocate Jacob Francis Mudenda, the Speaker of the Parliament of Republic of Zimbabwe, and members of the Parliamentary Delegation of Zimbabwe on a visit to India. Chairman wished them a happy and fruitful stay and conveyed the best wishes to the members of Zimbabwe's Parliament and the people of Zimbabwe. The Rajya Sabha also took up the Energy Conservation Amendment Bill 2022. The bill amends the Energy Conservation Act 2001 to empower the central government to specify a carbon credit trading scheme. Minister for New and Renewable Energy R.K. Singh moved the bill in the upper house. He said that India has emerged as one of the leading nations in climate action.
We have emerged, our country has emerged as one of the leading nations in climate action, in energy transition. We are the only major country, only major economy, जिसके कि climate action compliant है with a sub 2 degree rise in global temperature. हम लोगों ने pledge किया था, we had pledged in COP21 in Paris that by 2030, 40% of our established power generation capacity will come from non-fossil sources. Mr. Chairman, sir, you will be happy to know that we achieved this target 9 years in advance. We achieved this target in November 21. इतने तेजी से किसी भी देश ने अपने COP21 में दिए गए प्लेज को अचीव नहीं किया, और चूंकि हमने अचीव कर लिया, बिकॉज वी अचीव्ड इट वेल इन एडवांस, इसीलिए COP26 में हमने अपना एम्बिशन बढ़ाया है. पहले हमने कहा था 40% विल अचीव 40% बाय 2030, अब हमने कहा है कि विल अचीव 50% ऑफ आवर एस्टैब्लिश्ड कैपेसिटी बाय 2030. वी हैव एनहांस्ड आवर एम्बिशन एज अ कंट्री.
Time for a break in the bulletin. On the other side, news from the Lok Sabha.
India became free 75 years ago. We all know we have fundamental rights. Do you also know that we have fundamental duties? The duty towards our nation, to abide by the Constitution and respect its ideals and institutions, the national flag and the national anthem.
Welcome back to House Highlights. Let's now take a look at the key takeaways from the lower house on the second day of the winter session of the Parliament. The proceedings started with Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla welcoming the parliamentary delegation of Zimbabwe. He informed the House that the delegation arrived in India on Monday.
हमारे सम्मानित अतिथि जिम्बाब्वे की नेशनल असेंबली के अध्यक्ष महामहिम एडवोकेट जेकब मुंडेडा और वहां के संसदीय शिष्टमंडल के सदस्यों का स्वागत करता हूं, अभिनंदन करता हूं. जिम्बाब्वे के संसदीय शिष्टमंडल का भारत आगमन सोमवार 5 दिसंबर 2022 को हुआ था. शिष्टमंडल के सदस्यगण दिल्ली के अलावा आगरा की यात्रा भी करेंगे.
Members took up matters of urgent public importance during question hour in Lok Sabha. The Jal Shakti Minister informed the House that under the Jal Jeevan Mission, more than 2,000 labs have been set up across the country. He was responding to questions over contaminated water in some constituencies. He also said that more than 15 lakh women have been trained to test the water coming to their homes through the kit.
Under Jal Jeevan Mission, we have taken many initiatives. Throughout the country, we have established more than 2,000 laboratories and NABL accredited laboratories. We have created a platform where the entire water quality data is to be kept. Apart from those 2,000 laboratories, we have trained almost 1.5 million ladies in the country to test the water which is being dispersed in their homes or in their habitations through field testing kits.
DMK MP Dayanidhi Maran asked the Civil Aviation Minister about the rise in air traffic and the problems of passengers. In his reply, the Civil Aviation Minister said the sector is going through a V-shaped recovery and has got better post-COVID.
Sir, post-COVID, the air traffic has increased incredibly. And throughout India, every in-city airport is now jam-packed at the peak times. I've been seeing the statements given by the minister to address the problem. But do understand that it's a daily ongoing process, and every day passengers are queuing up just to clear the security part of it, and sometimes passengers are missing their flights.
We have, as we are all aware, gone through one of the most turbulent times in civil aviation across the world during COVID, where all planes were stranded on the ground. It's probably one of the industries that was the most worst affected. And suffice to say, because of the policies of the government as well as the desire of customers to travel, we have experienced today a V-shaped recovery. I'd also like to report to this House that pre-COVID in 2019, the highest number of travelers per day experienced in India in its history was roughly about 4.07 lakh. We have broken that barrier 3 days ago, and we have reached the target of 4.13 lakh passengers per day.
Congress MP Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary sought to know steps taken on the diversion of floodwater in West Bengal. The Jal Shakti Minister replied that government has given assistance of rupees 1282 crore to the state in the last years to control the erosion of rivers.
मुर्शिदाबाद डिस्ट्रिक्ट बंगाल की ये कटाव की चलते मुर्शिदाबाद डिस्ट्रिक्ट मालदा डिस्ट्रिक्ट बंगाल के सारे तबाह हर रोज रोजाना ये तबाह के मंजर हमें देखना पड़ता। जमीन जायदाद मकान मस्जिद मंदिर सब तबाह हो जाते हैं नदी की एक कटाव की चलते। बंगाल सरकार को आपने इससे मंत्री जी बंगाल सरकार को आपने इस जो स्कीम है इस स्कीम में कितना पैसा देने का योजना बनाया है ये बताइए।
फ्लड प्लेन्स में जिस तरह से एनक्रोचमेंट हुआ है वो भी एक कटाव का कारण बनता है। भारत सरकार ने राज्य सरकारों के नदियों के तटबंधों को सुरक्षित करने और इन कटाव को इरोजन को रोकने के लिए जो योजनाएं बनाई हैं उनमें पिछले वर्षों में अब तक 1282 करोड़ रुपए की सहायता राज्य सरकारों को दी है। प्राथमिक रूप से बहुत राज्यों ने इसमें उत्कृष्ट काम किया है। यदि मैं उल्लेख करना चाहूं, उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार ने पिछले 5 साल के कालखंड में इस विषय को लेकर के बहुत गंभीरता के साथ में काम भी किया है। बहुत सारे जो है इस तरह के फ्लड इरोजन के प्रोटेक्शन के लिए काम किया है।
After question hour, matters of public importance were taken up at 12 noon. MP Godeti Mahadevi from Andhra Pradesh raised the matter of women labour participation in India. The rising attacks by elephants in Kerala was highlighted by Congress MP V.K. Srikandan.
In India Discrimination Report 2022 by the Oxfam also stated that the low participation was mostly due to the gender discrimination in income and opportunities, wherein the wages for the women are reportedly lower by the 83% due to discrimination and 17% due to the lack of education and job experiences. There is a discrepancy in income between the men and women in regular and self-employment in urban areas, and the average earning of a man is nearly 2.5 times that of the woman.
The wild elephant attack on people is continuing unabated in many parts of Kerala, particularly in Attapadi, which is a taluk in Palakkad in Kerala, dominated by tribals. During the last 1 year, 6 persons have been killed by wild elephants. The people in Attapadi are living in fear as they cannot come out of their homes after sunset due to fear of wild elephant attacks. The wild elephants are entering into human settlements and damaging crops and properties, and it has been a regular affair, especially in Attapadi.
The lower house resumed after lunch break at 2 p.m. and discussed issues of importance under Rule 377. YSR Congress MP Chinta Anuradha urged the centre to introduce an exclusive sleeper class train for women to ensure their safety and security.
Despite many efforts, the safety of women in public transport, especially on trains, has still not been accomplished. They still face incidents of eve-teasing or fear of sexual harassment and thus have to avoid travelling long distances unaccompanied. Thus, along with the current measures and acts, having a women-only train will help us to achieve our goal of increasing the safety and security of women passengers and removing the barriers to women and girls' safe access to public transport, sir. Sir, therefore, through you, I request the Minister of Railways to introduce a special sleeper class women's train with all compartments reserved for women passengers, as it would ensure a safe travel experience for women from all backgrounds, sir.
Under Rule 193, Lok Sabha discussed the need to promote sports in India and the steps taken by the government in this regard. Various MPs from different constituencies and parties raised their concern on the issue.
ये देश के जो महत्वपूर्ण अलग अलग तरीके के खेल हैं, उनके जो खिलाड़ी हैं, उनको कोई सुविधा नहीं मिल पाती। अकेला एक क्रिकेट ही अपने हिस्से में उनके अकाउंट में, चाहे बीसीसीआई हो, चाहे एआईसीसी हो, हजारों करोड़ रुपए पड़े रहते हैं और हमारे दूसरे लोग जो गोल्ड मेडल लेके आते हैं, उनको बिल्कुल ऐसी ऐसी सुविधाओं का दिक्कत होती है जिसका की कल्पना नहीं करी जा सकती।
पैरालंपिक वो बच्चे खेलते हैं जिनके कुछ अंग की प्रॉब्लम है, अंगहीन कह सकते हो, जहां स्पेशल चाइल्ड आप कह सकते हो, हैंडी चाइल्ड, स्पेशल चाइल्ड भी। अभी ओलंपिक में वो बच्चे जब जीत के आते हैं तो उनको उनका फ्यूचर क्या है, उनको कोई जॉब मिलेगी नहीं मिलेगी, नहीं का तो है ही है, मिलेगी लेकिन कब मिलेगी इसका कोई प्रावधान नहीं है। मेरे मंत्री साहब से दरखास्त है, उनके लिए फ्यूचर के लिए कोई भी सरकार की तरफ से प्रावधान नहीं है कि वो कैसे खेलेंगे।
आज खेलो इंडिया कार्यक्रम के अंतर्गत भारत ने जो कार्यक्रम स्वीकार किए हैं, खेल संस्कृति को बेहतर बनाने के लिए जो कदम उठाए हैं, केंद्रीय मंत्रिमंडल ने संशोधित खेलो इंडिया कार्यक्रम के क्रियान्वयन को जो मंजूरी दी है, यह मंजूरी हमारी धरातल तक पहुंचनी चाहिए और ये केवल टॉप लेवल पर या बड़े बड़े जगहों पर स्टेडियम बनाने से सिद्ध नहीं होगी।
The House was adjourned for the day at 6 p.m. till Friday 11 a.m. That's all in today's bulletin. Keep watching Sansad TV for all the parliamentary updates. Have a good night.